Welcome back to Lobotomy Corporation. I'm Grillmastah, and today we have the Snow Queen. The Snow Queen appears to be a humanoid figure with no neck, but a mask for a head, hands on a sword, and a big robe floating in the containment center. When sending somebody in who has the this person has the weapon and the armor, but across the board 3. Instinct is common, insight is high, attachment is high, and repression is very low. The Snow Queen's containment room shines with ice and frosts. When getting bad or neutral, I believe, it's a chance to get a kiss. The kiss, if they get a certain amount of them, they will get frozen. When somebody gets a second kiss, they proceed to get frozen inside the containment unit. If you do not send anybody in to save them, this will count as a death for your employee that's in there. To save them, you just need somebody who has a high insight to go in there on insight, and they will do battle with the Snow Queen and save them from their icy fate. Gerda is braver and stronger than anyone. She fights for Kai, who is trapped in the Snow Queen's palace. When it's complete, they will shake hands, if it's successful, and they will be free of the ice. Spring came and roses bloomed. Gerda and Kai headed home, holding each other's hand. And they will get a gift on their face. Right there. It says that it is unknown. From my understanding, it is +6 to prudence and +6 to fortitude. The story of the Snow Queen. The queen lives in the frosty winter forest. Like how every story starts, Kai was a child with a kind heart. When an evil fairy scattered pieces of mirror in everyone's heart, Kai could see that he didn't want or need to see, and left the village, and he spent his entire life. In an unforgiving blizzard, Kai met the Snow Queen. He wanted to know the world beyond his knowledge. He felt as if everything he knows is just nothing. The snow palace he reached was so cold, but the Snow Queen's kiss froze his heart, and he couldn't feel the cold anymore. There was no joy in the palace. Just long winter's nights continued. Gerda was strong enough not to be stabbed in the mirror and brave enough to go on an adventure to rescue Kai. The journey was agonizing. Gerda was hurt and pained, and sometimes she cried. But eventually, Gerda met Kai. Spring came and blossoming flowers. The warmth of spring melted the Snow Queen's palace and piece of mirror that was in Kai's heart without a trace. So, left alone, the Snow Queen. We remember when we put her in the cryo coffin with our own hands. From someday, her joyous laughter was gone. She just kept repeating, crying, laughing, crying, laughing. She was eventually found in a bathtub with her wrist cut, soaked in red with her own blood. We didn't believe in death. I will reconstruct her from the machine, and I have been detested for my lifetime, but became the only answer. She would have been disgusted by me dying in the bathtub, but we have walked the road too much traveled by. One day, it talked. I remember you. You were kind-hearted. That moment, I had an urge to destroy what I had created myself. The management tip 1. When work result is normal, employee was kissed by the Snow Queen with a normal probability. When work result was bad, employee was kissed with the Snow Queen with a high probability. Employee who was given the second kiss forgot everything and was trapped inside the Snow Queen's containment room. To avoid the deadly third kiss, and to save the trapped employee, a duel with the Snow Queen must be commenced. Only those with high fortitude will be able to safely save the employee. Let's rescue it before the day is over. So I was mistaken, you want a high fortitude. Instinct is common, and insight is high on the level 3 and up. If it's lower, it has a lower chance, so you want to send in insight, or attachment looks like it is the best. You get high at level 5, or 4 common. Or common, 1 through 4. Repression is very low all across the board. The weapon is pretty good, it's fast, and it does white damage to bring the mind back to any employees who may have freaked out. The armor is really good for the beginning armor. And white, it is black endured, white endured at 0.6, 0.8, 1.5 into pale, so it actually has the 0.5 lower compared to most of the tests that we've gone over. And then hay, 1.3, which is weak, so you don't want to use that on there. It's a non-escaped object, but if you get the 2 kisses, you will get frozen in there. So you want to make sure before you end your day, if you have this abnormality, to make sure to check the containment unit. There's been multiple times where I've lost people simply because I did not do that. And while it says no E.G.O gift, there is a way to get the gift by having somebody trapped and then rescuing them. Both people get the gift. And that has been the Snow Queen. Until next time.